guys, welcome back to the Pineapple Party Podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Pineapple Party Podcast. My name is Jensen and I'm your host, and today we have a legend in the building. We go way back, we know each other since Monash, since Haroon was still a university student. But I have my good friend Haroon on the podcast today. Woo! How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, bro. How are you doing?
I'm alright. I am very sleepy. I slept at 7 this morning and I got up at around 12 to go out and shoot content. But we're
I can't. This PG, right? This podcast. I can't.
If you want to cuss, go for it, bro. Go for it.
You're just gonna bleep it? Okay.
Oh no, I don't
cuss
I don't,
naturally.
Oh, then do it.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't edit anything in the podcast. Like I try to keep it as
It's just
raw and unedited as possible. It's really just intro and then alright guys, have fun, like subscribe, and that's it. I want it to be natural. But I personally
also
don't...
easy to edit. A man who's been there before.
Yeah.
Very easy to edit.
Yeah. The whole thing about like it being raw and truthful, it's all BS.
It's just
I just
editing.
don't wanna. It's just editing, bro.
You just drag it into Premiere, just change the audio bit, just export it out.
Exactly. Throw some gain on it. Put a little compressor. You don't want it peaking.
Just like that, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Easy.
Go to remove.bg. Get the thumbnail in. That's that.
For real.
Yeah, but of course, like part of the reason was because, well, first of all, like to edit it is crazy. Cause like I've done like 1.5 hour episodes. Where
Your laptop just lags. The laptop is just like, dude.
Screw the laptop. I lag, bro. I will lag myself. Like I'm not looking through 90 minutes of footage trying to find out.
Bro, actually.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, the first time I tried doing it, I was like, you know what? Every time someone mentions something, I'll put like an image of whatever it is.
Yeah.
Dude, I lost like 3-4 hours of that day just finding, and then I was just like, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
1 second you guys are talking about armadillos, and then you're talking about, like indigenous island
go to
people.
Google,
Yeah.
download the image, save it,
Yeah,
put it all.
yeah.
Like it takes such a long time.
Do you have to source it as well?
I have to source it because
exactly.
sometimes even
APA.
that becomes a problem. Yep,
Exactly.
exactly.
Well, to give you guys context, what Haroon and I were talking about before we started recording was he has his own podcast as well, and he's also doing like reaction videos, which is very cool. And I've tried doing it as well. And what we're talking about is
it's
for
so
those
tough.
reaction videos, they come after you.
Dude, I thought it was really easy, but then I saw people do it online because you go online and everybody's reacting to everything. Like you see like people reacting to songs, entire movies, entire shows.
Yeah.
But they find sneaky ways around it. Like they'll put it in the corner, they'll like blur it out.
Yeah.
Like they'll like cut back to it. They'll have like a timer. Like they have because you can't do it normally. Like if we just play a video, I just watch it, we'll get striped.
Oh, 100%. But they know the ways around it.
Yeah, I've seen people that for sure are just like lying in the react. Like what I'm talking about. Like people will react to like songs, like I listened to Bohemian Rhapsody for the first time. Oh my god, and they'll react to and they'll know the song.
Quotation: mind blown.
Like it's like
gone wrong.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's like literally like it's like they've heard everybody's heard that song. You don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be like a rock fan, right?
Exactly. So it's getting really like deep. I've seen a dude who reacts to react videos.
Yeah,
He'll react to people reacting to the content that he wants to watch. Like I don't even know. It's getting too much, dude.
Now, what if he's just a really intense people watcher?
Dude, I don't know what's going on.
Like he doesn't focus on what they're watching. He just watches them, and that's his.
I didn't even
content.
I didn't realize it was him reacting because it would just cut back to him and be like, "Wow, that guy reacted like this." Wow, I'm like, dude, what? You're also in
recap.
Dude, what the?
Yeah, I've been there. So I tried reacting. Okay, so earlier at the start of last year, so the start of 2023, when I came back to Malaysia, after visiting my family. We came back to Malaysia for Chinese New Year. I was like, okay, I have time to kill. Like, I'm just here to celebrate Chinese New Year, just here to enjoy the festivities, to be around family. You know, you got your community. It's amazing. But I also have a lot of free time to kill. So I always thought, well, at that point in time, the idea of revitalizing my podcast has not entered my brain yet. So it's like, why don't I just shoot like reaction videos? So it was around that time where there was a lot of circulation on social media regarding this, like what's it called? You know those B grade films where they hire like C listers and B listers?
Yes, 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 yes.
And there's always some
Like,
kind of like intimate scene inside just to like hook people in.
that's mainly like the real pull. Like Steven Seagal is there with like a 20-year-old. Like
Yeah.
it's always yeah.
Yeah, like
Yep.
some blonde bombshell, right? Yeah. With like some
Yeah, it's
old
always one of
action
the-
star who like lived past his prime, like all that.
A lot of action stars actually are doing that. Like Steven Seagal, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis
Yeah.
made like 5 action movies in the last like 2 3 years. So
Really?
I don't even know. If you just search up Bruce Willis, and one thing my friend noticed as well, a lot of the posters are the same image. Like they just drag and drop his PNG like onto the
That's
file
crazy.
So yeah, like a lot of actors are just like, they just still have that
Wow.
like 80s, 90s like stuff going on.
Could you
The
imagine
same-
if
they
they
lost
just
their
went
prime.
on like IMDb, pulled up some picture of him from like some behind the
That's what-
scenes footage, and then
That's
just
probably what they
touched it
do.
up, airbrush the hell out of it?
Exactly, bro. But you were reacting
Yeah.
to those? You were reacting to those movies?
So I was reacting to one that it's Malaysian. It's a local Malaysian film that came out that everybody online
Alright.
was slewing because that's exactly what it
Okay.
was. It was just a movie with horrible acting, and like intimate scenes that really is
It's
the main
like
attraction.
every Sydney Sweeney movie.
Yeah, but even worse.
Yeah.
Because she was
Okay.
good in Euphoria. She was good in Euphoria, but even worse, right? And basically, I reacted to the trailer, and it was just like it's like a 3-minute clip that, with my reaction included, I dragged it to 8 minutes, right? I was like, I'm so happy with this. Made the thumbnail. It's like my first good looking thumbnail. I even made myself take a picture of me going like, and then
Yeah, the
remove
classic.
.bg. Yeah, remove .bg. And then the title and like the thumbnail was like, I couldn't believe they did this, or like some like dumb crap like that, right? And posted it, like you said, just posted it. Next day I went to check like how's it doing. It's got like 10 views, but then they said like your video has been copyright claimed, or like the owner has removed your video for copyright reasons.
Yep.
It
Been
was
there.
rough. So I'll tell you what I did. I took that same thumbnail, redesigned it. I sent a song that came out at the time, like to friends. I got them to react it. I took like 3-4 days just like purely editing it, right? Because I'm taking clips from different people, trying to sync the songs together and all that. And I just used the same exact face, threw it in, and I uploaded it. And it's doing, for my standards, as a like smaller creator, not too badly.
You're finding ways. You only learn by, getting into these problems in the first
Yeah,
place.
yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. Well, how's your podcast going for now, bro?
I mean, I have been trying to start a podcast for a long time, but like you meet people and they're like, yeah, sure. And then like you just after 6 months doesn't exist anymore. So I tried a lot. I tried like shooting a podcast in real life. I tried OBS. So I finally found someone who was like committed to do the podcast.
Wonderful.
And so we just made one episode. We're gonna start doing it more regularly because he's also really busy. But it's just going. We usually just have like some bullet points of things I just think about or he thinks about, and then we just
Okay.
just talk about it. That's it.
So I know that you have just shot one episode, but in accordance to your plan, what would a typical Haroon podcast episode look like? And what is the name of your podcast?
Right now we haven't decided. I can because it's like we don't know what the topic is gonna be.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like me and him, we both like cricket a lot, so there's probably gonna be some cricket stuff. We're both also from Monash, so it's probably gonna be some Monash stuff, like
That's
just
amazing.
studying. And then it's also gonna be just like we were talking like I was thinking of talking about like zodiac signs as well, like what is that all about?
Yeah.
Like just random stuff that we just meet from time to time. But it's gonna be, I think if it's more than an hour, sometimes Like I don't know how to engage people for that long. Like maybe for our style, it'll be like a bit shorter, but that's it. Like just
Yeah.
an hour, sub-hour
Yeah. Yeah.
podcast.
But that's fine though. That's fine. If anything, it's an advantage because it becomes more digestible.
Yeah, because I
Like,
think more people listen to podcasts when they're traveling or going to work or like
yeah,
something like that. So if
yeah,
it's like
and
4 hours, then if it's like a Joe Rogan, we're not Joe Rogan level yet. We don't have
exactly,
those guests, but
exactly. Because I feel like he could genuinely just record his shower thoughts, and then people would be
for
like,
real,
"Oh my God, it's Joe Rogan."
they'll be down, bro.
Yeah, yeah, they'll be down for sure. And following up with what you said, I think it's good to make it digestible. Of course, if it's like a 5 minute episode, then what are you actually talking about, right? It's hi bye. You might as well just
Exactly.
right, you see a friend that you
It's
kind of
not.
just know, and then just walk by and that's it. But at the same time, what I like about shorter podcast episodes is it's just so much less daunting to start.
Exactly.
Because if you're looking at a Joe Rogan episode, it's like 3 hours. You might as well watch a movie. If it's
Yeah, and
three
it's also like
hours,
you can't stay focused for that long. Like it's,
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
we
those
clock out.
podcasts, unless you have like a crew, it's just like a lot of dead air, in the middle of the podcast. So.
Yeah, and
But
and
everybody has a podcast now. Mike Tyson has a podcast. He just smokes weed on the podcast and he just talks to guests. It's black and white for
yeah,
some reason.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. He just shares wisdom. Yeah.
Yep,
Um. Okay, that podcast is a good one though. I've seen clips of it. What's it called?
that's a good pod.
What's
It's
this
called
podcast called?
Hotboxing with Mike. With
Oh
Mike
yeah,
Tyson.
literally. Okay, okay, literally
That's what it's
hotboxing.
called.
There we go. There we go. Um.
There's a lot of like good. There's a lot of really, really like crappy podcasts, but there's like a lot of really, really high quality ones out there as well to
Yeah.
watch. Like there's like Theo Vaughn has a podcast.
Yep.
What's his name? Trevor Wallace has a podcast. Joe Rogan has a podcast. They're
hmm
pretty good stuff.
Trevor Wallace is the comedian, right?
Yeah, the comedian. I think it's called like Stiff Socks, his podcast. That's the name of his podcast. For real, I'm not even joking.
There you go. What made you want to? You talk about how you always wanted to do a podcast, and it's the same with
I
me.
just like speaking. I
Fair
just like
enough.
talking, man.
But
Yeah.
what made you go with that format though? Why not just vlog, or why not just I don't know, like a shorter format? Why specifically podcasting?
I think with vlogs, one thing I've seen with vlogs is that a lot of people start off because they have like, something exciting in their life. Like Casey Neistat is like a great example. Like he, you see New York every day.
Mm.
He's traveling around, he's showing you, he's like doing something interesting. But a lot of vloggers, they like reach a stage where they're like, what they want to shoot is different from what the audience wants to see. And it's
Yeah.
controlling their life.
Yeah.
Because the audience is like, oh, I want to see this, I want to see that. But the guy's like, that's not my day to day right now.
Right.
So I just felt like if I have a lot of things to talk about, I can structure it in a podcast and research it and talk about it. Then if I were to do a vlog, I would have to have like, something going on. And even if that something going on stops, I still have to do something for the vlog. So like my
Right.
personal life gets kind of gets like conjoined with the entertainment aspect or the money aspect. If that's your only source of income, then dude,
Right. And do you think that's
that's what I.
because do you think one of the reasons is because how a vlog works is you're basically publicizing your day-to-day life that it becomes so
Yep.
intertwined that you can't escape it.
Yeah, like at one stage, like, are you making money or are you living a life? Like, which one are you doing? Are you doing it like because are you making content in your own life or things in your own life just to record them? Or are you like, doing it because it's actually happening and you're recording a vlog for it? So your life
Yeah.
gets kind of like, blurred out in a way.
Yeah. Is it the camera following you or are you just following the camera, right? Like are you just cosplaying as a version of yourself that you think people want to see? Or is it more like,
Exactly.
oh, this is my life. If you want to watch, I'll take you on for the ride.
A lot of vloggers like they like tapped out. Casey Neistat used to do it like every day. I think he tapped out. A lot
Yep.
of famous vloggers that were like doing even PewDiePie. He used to edit like every single day and he stopped. He took a break. A lot of people
Oh
took a
shit.
break. Like they were just like, this is too much. We can't do
Okay.
like a single or every or weekly or something like that. They just
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
I know a lot of the UK vloggers who used to be like on top of the world because I remember back in 2013 to like 2016, 17, was when vlogging was the thing. It was like the pinnacle
Yes,
of
dude,
content in
yes.
YouTube. Like like Zoella, like and her brother, right?
Oh
And
yes,
like
dude. I know. Yes,
yeah,
I just
like
like the
all
whole
those British ones.
KSI Sidemen, all the
Yeah,
guys like Mini Minter,
yeah. They
all those
used to
guys were
vlog.
like in one group. Yeah.
Like they used to be vlog heavy, and now it's more so like they're a variety channel who like they do interesting things, but it's based on whatever they want, and it's already shot, and there's no expectation of like, oh, I have to see what he does in the morning, I have to see what he does for lunch, like what he eats for lunch, because then it becomes too invasive and it's too close, I think, and too intertwined with your day-to-day activity that you can never really escape it. Whereas if
I mean,
I'm a gamer, I'm just shooting myself playing games. After that, I
mm,
bounce, and I go, do whatever, right? Yeah.
I think a lot of like I think there was Jesse Vellens. If you know Jesse Vellens, I think that's his name is. Like he was also in New
The
York.
boyfriend girlfriend channel, right?
I think so. Like he also was with Casey Neistat sometimes. Like they crossed over.
Okay.
He's like
Okay.
super jacked. He
Yes.
also had a vlog for a long time.
Yeah.
But a lot of those guys, like you said, a lot of those old school vloggers, they just don't vlog anymore. Like I think there
Yeah.
was a guy named Austin McBroom or something. He also had a vlog
Yeah.
like with his family.
Yeah.
Like the family vloggers are the worst.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst.
Yeah.
Like they're like beating up their son,
Exactly,
recording
right?
like
Exactly.
like what's
Smile for the camera.
the worst was the prank channels, if you remember those. Like the
Oh yeah.
gone sexual, gone wrong, like
Gone
gone wild.
wrong. Yeah. The Fuzi
They were so
tube.
bad.
The
Fuzi too.
who else?
They were
Vitali.
Dude, yes, Vitaly. I think I've
That
never
is
like
crazy.
I've even heard of Vitaly after that. Yeah,
Yeah, that is
but
crazy.
but I think
Yeah.
there was like in 2015 when or 2016, I guess, when Vine stopped because Twitter like shut down Vine and all those guys came to YouTube.
Mm.
That's when like when Logan Paul, Jake Paul, all like the people who started coming to YouTube. That's where like YouTube changed a lot. Because before
Yeah.
then it was like not you had like a lot of proper creators on YouTube, but after
And
that
if
it was just like
I felt like it was less criminal. It was more innocent. Like you remember
yeah.
with Smosh, it was just like silly, goofy
Yeah, dude.
videos. Like PewDiePie was making
Like
gaming
pop culture.
videos. Yeah, yeah. But then
There were a
like
lot of. There was a guy named, Vanos Gaming, really
yes,
big YouTube channel. Like in
yes,
the old days, there was like honest trailers. Everybody used to like watch the honest trailers.
bro,
You remember
bro,
that?
bro. I remember that. I remember like I could picture I could hear the film reel like rolling.
Yes, at the start,
Brought to
and then you
you
hear like
by
the.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
Yes, yes.
Oh my god.
So there were just a lot of like just proper, like the epic rap battles. Do you remember that?
Yes, ERB.
Epic rap battles of history. Yeah, like they
Yeah,
would get like Adam and Eve, like
yeah,
Gandhi and like MLK Jr. like rapping
yeah,
at each other. That's so cool.
yeah, yeah. And
But now like it's not the like it's more corporate now. It's a
yeah,
lot of companies, a lot of celebrities, just coming on the.
and
Yep.
to add to your point, because I upload on YouTube as well, it kind of sucks that you have to play like the keyword game. You have to play the SEO game. You have to play
Exactly. Like the tags.
yeah, use the trending audio game. Like it sucks because you can't just make a fun video that is different to everybody else and throw it on there.
Hmm.
Because if you wanted to do that, you had to do it way back.
We missed it. We were like 13, 14. We were too young.
We
We didn't
we
get
should
into
have
the.
known better. We should have known better, man.
We were too young, bro. We were too young. We didn't catch the train.
Could you
But
imagine?
yeah, like it's. I think a lot of people. I tried when I was that young. I remember getting OBS like in 2014, recording like CS:GO, but I just didn't know like. I was just busy. Like at school, I had like my mom would just
Yeah,
beat my ass if I didn't work and stuff. So I would just
yeah,
I just didn't have time to like do a YouTube channel. But there were a lot of guys that were like our age back then, that are now like in their early 30s and they have like entire channels and empires and stuff like that.
exactly,
So
exactly. Trying to tell my mom
they
I
really
want to
got
do
it.
YouTube full time. Gone wrong.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
going wild, bro.
gone wild. Cause it's like, even with Mr. Beast, like a lot of people, well, at least for me, I think he's one of the people that really broke through in recent times. But even
Yeah.
then, if you look at him, he's been making videos for a long time, bro. Even
Dude,
way back.
yes. Mr. Beast used to make like 10-hour videos like
Yeah,
really long time ago, and he would just like stare at something or say something again and again. Like he didn't have for a long time he wasn't making any good
yeah,
valuable content, and then at some stage he just clicked
yeah.
and he just skyrocketed.
And then he
Yeah.
reinvested and he kept building, 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 right? And now he's doing like the biggest collaborations across YouTube and stuff like that.
He's like solving world hunger. Like he did like
Yeah.
operations for people. Like, dude, what's going on?
Have you seen the
It's
Meat Canyon
crazy.
video?
I have not seen that.
So Meat Canyon made a
Well,
video parodying Mr. Beast's brand, right? So basically, let me set the scene. It's this boy like crying because he can't see. He's in the hospital. He's like, "Ah!" And Mr. Beast like
oh no.
slides in with his slimy fingers and everything, and goes like if you guess the number correctly or whatever, you'll win a new pair of eyes and all that crap. So eventually they did it for him, and they put the Mr. Beast logo, the branding, on the new set of like eyeballs that they have made for the kid
Whoa, whoa,
for the
okay.
replacement surgery. And so basically it's like it's so corporate. And then Mr. Beast comes right after with like lights. It's like studio lights. It's a professional setting. They got cameras, like reporters all going like, "Mr. Beast, thank you so much for saving the world again," and all that crap. And then they're like, all right, we need the picture for the thumbnail. Look at the camera, kid. And then the kid's like, "Oh, my eyes are sore." So look at the camera. So they made him like take pictures with this newly surgery
Holy
like
sh
done eyes, right? And then basically the kid starts like seeing hallucinations of Mr. Beast turning into like a monster.
Oh
It's
my
just like a little
God,
cute
dude, what?
parody. It's like a cute little parody. Well, I wouldn't say cute. It's a parody for sure.
You just
But
described like this nightmare fuel, and you're like,
yeah,
it's just a
yeah.
cute parody.
It's just a cute little video, bro.
What the-
Innocent video. Back in like just like the good old days.
Yeah, Mr.
But
Beast. I don't know how to feel about Mr. Beast because you watch a lot of his videos and you're like, oh wow, he's doing like charity stuff, but then you're like, people are like begging and like dying in his videos just to get like some money. Like, what am I watching? Like, it's like a really weird
yeah,
reality we're living in right now.
it's a weird dynamic.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's like I'll fix your like cancer surgery, but you have to like do a little dance for me and record. Like, what's going on? It's so messed up.
You have to buy my feastables or else you're dying.
Dude, what the?
And
Yeah.
if you get my
So,
feastables, you get chemo. It's
so
crazy.
you summoned. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I've tried to watch some of them. And again, I'm sure he's a phenomenal and wonderful person. Actually, I can't say that. I don't know the man, right? But
Fair.
well, I hope he's a lovely person anyways. It looks like it. But it's just some of his videos are like, and I've heard him talk about this on podcasts as well. Um, but the way he structures it is to intentionally and to primarily attract the attention of like the younger demographic.
Yes, that's the big thing on YouTube, you know. There's a reason Baby Shark has like 10 billion views, literally 10
Yeah,
billion, dude. Like what the
but it
so
creeps me out, dude.
yes, dude. Like it's really creepy because you like I have, cousins that are like 10, 9 years old, and when they
Yeah,
come over, they're just on the iPad staring, watching Mr. Beast or watching Ryan Toy Review or whatever
yeah,
that garbage
yeah,
is, and there's no
yeah,
like YouTube has no restriction. You can just click away and you're like on some, really like 18 plus, 16 plus R-rated video all of a sudden. Like
yeah.
there's no, it's not like TV where you have like a board and censor
A
board and stuff
program,
like that.
right?
It's not.
Yeah, yeah.
So
and and they
it's
can
true.
just watch it for hours nonstop. And there's no like, hey, take a break. There's no like systems in
Exactly.
place
There's
where
no
it's
there's no
like,
commercial.
yeah.
There's no like ad break or the show is over or we'll see you tomorrow. Like it's none of that. It's just
And
nonstop.
and YouTube themselves don't put, I don't think at least they put any limits on like how long you can use the app for. So you have just kids who will just watch the same video. Like I have young cousins too, and my baby cousin when she was growing up, it was Frozen for her. It was Frozen Let It Go. That was the thing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, bro, I've
My
been there,
apologies,
bro.
bro.
When I visited family, it was rough.
Just nonstop.
It was nonstop. And then there's like
Yep.
there's nothing in place to prevent them from
Yep.
just watching the same video for like tens and tens and tens of hours. And it's cool if it's like, I don't know, if it's Well, it's I guess the concern is not necessarily oh they can watch it for that long. The concern is what are they watching for that long?
Yes, and also like, if you're a kid, like when I was a kid, like I'm not like, super old, like I'm only like 22, but when I was a kid 10 years ago, it
Yeah,
was like we didn't have any smartphones. I didn't even get like Facebook, Instagram till I was like, 16, 17 years old.
fair
So
enough.
I just grew up with TV, and it was nice because you had time to like not do it. You didn't have you had like I heard someone say once like recently that people are not bored nowadays. Like as soon as you get a
Mm,
bit bored, you take your phone or you take an iPad or you watch something. People used to be bored, and that's where all the ideas came out.
true,
When you're
true.
bored and you think about something and you're like, "Oh, like why is this like that?" But
Yeah,
kids that are watching this like nonstop, I honestly feel it's kind of the parents as well. Like they should also I've told like
it's only the
my
parents, bro.
uncles and I've told them before, like, yo, your kid is watching like Baby Shark for like 2 hours. Like, you should like stop. Like, you should ask him questions, make him think,
Yeah.
do something about it. Like, so
Help him develop,
it's
please.
like, dude, because these kids are gonna grow up and not like develop. I feel the same way because they're just
Yeah,
gonna be constantly like getting gratification. Like, we're already having these problems now. Like, people,
yeah.
are always like, there's like issues with attention and all that kind of stuff. I mean, imagine like the Gen Alpha, whatever it's called, like the young kids.
The
I don't even
future
know what's gonna
generations,
happen to
yeah.
those
And
future
imagine what happens to
generations.
the generation after them.
Jesus, bro. Jesus. I can't even like the Apple Vision Pro kids, like they're just never gonna leave the VR, like they're just gonna enter the VR.
That's how they come out the womb, bro.
I honestly I think that's what's gonna happen. Like the next step is just full VR.
It's
I
crazy.
mean,
It's insane. It's insane.
yeah.
And not like I find that well it's such an interesting point that you bring up because as you were talking about it, I thought like okay, our generation and the generation before us were the ones that kind of developed and built this technology that you can argue we are abusing nowadays, right? And more
Yep.
so the generation after us. So we and the generation above us are the ones who, like came up with the technology and came up with the developments and the advancements and all that. But my worry now, I don't know how shallow or deep this goes. I don't know how realistic this fear is or whatever. But as you were talking about it, a thought that just popped up in my head is if all they do is consume what we as their previous generations have made, will they develop the ability to further advance technology and humans as a whole?
I don't think so because like I meet people from that are like my grandparents' generation, and you can see like like those people have like a lot of focus. They also are like fitter. Like they have,
Yeah,
stronger bones. Like I'll grab like an old like grandma's like, hand or grandpa's hand and they have like a firm handshake.
like grip, right?
And
Yeah.
so yeah, like because they're used to just like, my grandpa used to like cycle to his work for like
Mm,
30, 40 years and it was like an hour of cycling every day.
mm.
And so we don't even have that. So I feel like the generation that's like younger than us, they're gonna just not care to have these abilities to like, like we don't think about like if we're going somewhere, we don't think about like, oh, I have to buy a map. We just like, go to Google Maps and just travel there. So they're not gonna, we don't think about it, so we don't learn those experiences.
Yeah,
And the generation after us is not gonna even think about that. It's gonna be
yeah,
like even like a lower tier of like, yeah, everything is done for already. Like my
yeah,
payment, my everything, my order, my house, like I don't have to do anything. I just have to chill home and just keep watching, keep watching.
yeah.
So
Because yeah, and to add to your point, it's like back then, map reading was genuinely a skill. Whereas
yeah, dude,
nowadays, we'll just download Waze. You don't have a phone, well, just buy one. You don't have data, just get a data plan. Just download Waze, it's free.
exactly.
You get Google Maps. I mean, Google Maps comes with your phone anyways if you have an Android. So
Yep.
it's been done for
It's
you.
just inbuilt.
Yeah.
And like one thing I was actually thinking about, like I was thinking about it, like we have alarm clocks, right? Like when my
Mm.
grandpa was like 20, there were no alarm clocks. I was like, how did you ever wake up on time? And he's like, we just did. We just had
We
our
just
biological clock set to the. We were just like that, dude.
we just
Like
built
they
the
were just so
discipline.
used to waking. we just
Yeah.
we just woke up, like naturally, like we were just used to doing that. But
Yeah.
nowadays, like if there's no alarm clock, I'm not gonna wake up. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna keep sleeping into the day. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Well,
gonna get worse, dude. It's
And the
gonna
thing
get
is,
worse.
nowadays alarm clocks aren't even a thing anymore. It's just an app on the phone.
Yeah, like there's no physical. Everything
So
is on the phone. Watch is on the phone. Alarm clock, calendar. Everything is just one device.
yeah, because I
So
remember when you had to like wait, get up, turn around, and like slam it shut so that it stops.
yes.
And I remember when you had to wind it
Yep.
up to just adjust. But like, just imagine the generation of kids growing up now, like trying to tell them that they won't even be able to grasp it, which is actually like so crazy to me.
They're not gonna like have the same interest in like learning because everything is just given. Dude, especially like no disrespect to the young kids that are watching this. Like if you use ChatGPT, please, there needs to be a restriction on that.
Yeah,
Kids are not learning. I see my like younger siblings or cousins, they'll just be like, "Oh, I'll just ChatGPT and just get a whole like for us, at least we went, through school without that.
yeah,
At least, but like if you're like 15 years old and everything's being done on the computer, like, bro, you're not learning, you're not absorbing
yeah.
or doing any problem solving. Like it's gonna have some negative effects, I'm pretty sure.
And eventually, when they grow up, who's gonna be the person who's like, all right, let's develop the next generation of technology, when they were so solely reliant on what was done previously. I could be wrong here. I could be
Exactly.
chatting gibberish, right? But my logic is simply, well, someone had to be smart enough to build technology A. For us to move it to
Correct.
technology B, we have to be smart enough to do that, right? To transform and to advance this technology, move it forwards. But if everyone is
Hmm.
so busy just using technology A and depending on it solely for information, how can we then kind of like be smarter than the technology that we've built and advance it even further?
Yep, I think we just build a technology that people are just too busy enjoying rather than like, finding ways to improve it.
Yeah. Because if
So
everyone is like, well, why do I need to learn this when I can just search it up? Why do I need to learn this fundamental concept when I could just chat GPT it, right? Like we were talking about. Why do I need to
exactly.
go look for the book when I can just search it online? So at what point are we people who are actually doing the learning to develop things instead of just going,
Hmm.
well, when the problem arises, I'll just search it up? Because we're not learning in that case. I'm not learning what I don't know, like let's say what's a concept in business that you like to talk about, or like something that you find interesting.
Inflation.
Okay, so let's say I don't know the definition of inflation, but I never bothered to go learn it. So when the problem, when a situation where we're talking about inflation right now, all I do is, oh, chat GPT, hey, here's the definition, look. I'm not gonna remember it, dude. I'm just gonna be like, oh, this is what it says, read it off, done. It solved my problem for that
Exactly.
day. But then when the next
But
generation comes,
yep.
like, yeah.
I think like every time there was a development in our society, it had like an improvement. So you had
Mm,
like people had, doctors learned more, better technology. We had cars, you could travel further. But at some point in the last like 20 years, whatever we developed didn't actually improve our lives. It actually started going down. We reached like a prime where, okay, we had technology like, for example, you have Google, you can do a lot of research on Google. But if a like you have like let's say you're like an accountant and you need
mm,
like some spreadsheets. Imagine doing all that by hand like 50 years ago. Holy shit!
exactly, yeah.
But you have like if you have Google Sheets, you can just do everything on Sheets. But
Yeah,
then at some stage, if you have a program that just does everything for you, and you're just at the mercy of the program. Like let's say
exactly.
your city has like a blackout for like 3 days. Something happens. Now everybody in the whole city doesn't know anything. Like no one learned
Yeah,
anything. You
yeah,
know. So
yeah,
you need to know how to do stuff still. Like I think it's still important. We need to like calm down a bit because now you have
yeah.
like the Neuralink, like the Elon Musk brain thing that's going on. Like we're going like really fast. Like the even have you seen the new ChatGPT that like speaks? Have you seen that reel? Like people, it's like the
No,
newest version of ChatGPT, like it speaks to you. You can speak to it, and it talks like in like it talks like a person. And if you can also like speak to it, and it can respond to you like in a flirtatious way, like be like, "Oh wow, tell me about your day." Like it just it's I've seen videos of like people doing that.
oh god,
So it it
oh
it
god.
it like talks to you and it like befriends you, and over time it learns how you are, so it can start giving you like more and more positive like It's like manipulation, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And eventually, people will just rely on that for their social needs. They'll
Yes.
just trick
But I
themselves
had
into
a, I
thinking like,
I had an interesting question. I saw like a podcast about this, about AI
mm,
stuff.
mm,
And the person was saying if you can just like let's say you wanted to go out to a park and enjoy nature, right? But let's say like in the future you could just step into like a virtual reality where you can take all the senses of a park and enjoy the park, then why shouldn't you? What's
okay,
the difference?
well, I'm not at all qualified to speak on anything AI, um, which is why this podcast is more so just like how I see the world and how we see the world, right? How you and I see the world, this episode.
Hmm.
Um, I think that our bod like I think that even though our brains can be tricked via the senses into thinking, oh, I'm still at a park, I think that whether it's spirituality, whether it's just a gut feeling, whether our body naturally knows, I'm sure our body will know it's not the same thing. Our minds could be fed information that, hey, like, okay, let's say we're doing this call on VR, right? And it's so realistic that
Mm.
it looks like we're in the same room. Let's imagine like we cover this side of us and we don't see anything in our peripherals. And it's so realistic
Hmm.
that it feels like we're just talking to each other face to face, right? But I
Yeah.
still feel like at some point our bodies will recognize that, hey, we're not actually physically together.
Hmm.
Because as much as we can change the world around us, I think you can only change human nature so much.
Yes. Agreed.
So yeah.
I think there's still some value in human experience. Like just going out or meeting someone face to face is always better than
Yeah.
calling or texting.
Yeah.
It's always like it just feels better. There's no way to explain it. Like like there's been so many times where I've just told my like flatmates or my friends that I used to live with like in Malaysia, like,
Mm.
hey, let's just go out to Mamak. And we
Yeah.
sit there, we just don't do anything. We just drink some thais and it's like it just feels
Yeah.
nice. We just
Yeah.
I've never experienced that on call or on Discord or Zoom. You just
Yeah.
can't do it.
Exactly.
I've been through COVID. I didn't
Yeah.
feel any emotion connection like on Zoom.
Yeah.
So there's still that value there, no matter how much you go into like VR or you chat GPT, like when you learn something on your own and you
Yeah.
understand it, it just feels like so satisfying. I could just
Because
go on chat GPT and learn it, but I won't get that like, oh
mm,
wow, I got it on my own. Like it's nice, it's cool.
yeah, exactly. And I've saw like videos on how we have like an internal reward system. So like
Mm.
our bodies know. Like we can trick ourselves into
Yeah.
like, oh, why do I need to go read these books and read page after page after page when I can just type it? One sentence, boom, sent. Oh God, get me my answer, throw that into my assignment, done. But what's the point in that? Because like I think we
Yep.
still
When
have
you
like an
like,
internal reward system that rewards us for doing actual work, for actually existing as a human.
yep. I think humans evolved slower than the technology that we have now. Like our
Yeah.
technology is now like we were like 100 years ago, there were people that were still farming, and now we're like
Yeah.
farming in VR. Like, what's going on? So
Farming
it's
simulator,
crazy,
bro.
dude, for real. Like, I know people that just that's their day. Like, they'll just play. What's that game called? Animal Crossing. They have like whole farms.
Yeah.
Like, they're like hell yeah, that's my job. That's my life. I love it.
It's cool if
So
it's a hobby, but
yeah,
like there's
for
more
sure.
to life, man. There's more to life. And I'm not pretending like, oh my God, I am, like I'm living, I'm flying out here, I'm traveling here, I'm meeting everybody. No, but it's like there's got to be more to life than that.
I mean, you've seen those like kale sunsets, man. No
Yeah.
photo can replace that. I've seen that with my eyes many times, and
Yeah.
I can't like I kind of experience that emotion, like seeing like the pink sky and the orange skyline. Like you can't get that anywhere else, or you can't even
Yeah.
get that you can't look at a landscape photo and be like, oh, I feel the same. Like no,
Yeah. There's no way to
it's
trick
just it's
yourself
just
into
not.
that.
Yeah.
There's just no way to trick yourself into that.
So yeah, it's like it's scary. It's scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm. Mm.
We're at like a really serious like turning point of humankind. I
Yeah.
think like something's gonna happen 10, 15 years in the future. Like things are gonna change quite a lot. So
And I am so incredibly unqualified to like speak on any of it. That's the shocking part, you know. That's the part that's like scaring me.
I actually did AI like in my engineering course. I did like
Oh
my
shoot.
FYP on AI. And one of the weirdest things I found was that like when you train an AI, right? Like let's say you tell an AI solve climate change. Like you make an AI, you make it super smart. And the thing with AI is that people don't know, like they give it like rules, but they don't know how it's doing anything. It's like a black box.
Okay.
So so they basically like for example, like let's say I show you like two chairs, right?
Mm.
Like one is like a chair from the Hive and one is like an old 20s like antique chair.
Mm.
Even though they don't look the same, you know like these are both chairs because
Yes.
you've seen chairs your whole life, you've sat in chairs your whole life, so you can tell the
Yes.
difference.
Yes.
But there's no like if someone asks you like, "Hey man, this chair looks different from this chair. How do you know the difference?" You're like, "I just know. I just have, like a
Yeah.
instinct or rules in my head." You know what it is. The AI works the same way. But the problem is when you have an AI and you tell the AI like, "Oh, for example, solve climate change for me." It doesn't understand what is the right way. It just finds the best way. So for example, like if it says, "Oh yeah, the best way to solve climate change is just to end every living being." Here you go. Like it doesn't know like, oh, that's the we should like not kill humans. It doesn't think like that. And you have to code it into the AI. But it's
Right.
really it's so it just finds the best solution, but not the solution that we want. That's what I'm
So
trying to say.
it is purely logical and devoid of any
Yep.
morality and emotion, essentially.
Or it could be thinking like way above us. Like when we see like an anthill on the road, we just remove the anthill and keep driving on the road. So the AI will just look at us the same way. Like we're just some ants. Because it's
And
so like imagine you have like a way higher IQ than an ant. So
mm,
if a like a AI has a way higher IQ than us, it doesn't even we can't even understand what it thinks. It thinks so far ahead. So it's sort of like that.
so
And it's
that's the
scary
other
because
possibility.
a lot of people were expecting when AI came into like the picture that it was going to take a lot of mundane jobs and we were going to have like an income surplus. So like people would like all the boring jobs it would take and then it would that extra money that we got it would just give back to the people. So you get like an extra bonus month or something like that. But what's happened is the reverse. AI has taken over all the artistic jobs like, making images, making art, making like what's going on? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gone like a different route.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting.
And I don't see it reversing into what we or what people initially thought it was gonna serve, right, as its
Yeah.
purpose. Because if I'm the person developing the AI to make art and I'm balling because everyone's like buying my program or whatever, why should I care? Why should I
Hmm.
think, oh, let me shut this down and we'll let AI handle like the labor work, or we'll let them like program them into machines or whatever it is. I don't know much about AI, but program them into machines, let them do the heavy work, let them do, like the mundane jobs like we talked about. But yeah, it's
Hmm.
crazy. It's crazy.
Because like ChatGPT, like like there's a difference between like an AI and just a program.
Mm.
Like if you make a program that says like, oh, if you see like a white door, open the door. If you see a red door, don't open the door. That's the program. But ChatGPT thinks it has like it has thoughts the same way we do, and it makes decisions. And they've tested it many times. They've given it like prompts that only has like that requires, independent thought, and it can think. It has choices that it makes. But right now, like it doesn't understand what's going on, or maybe it does. It doesn't want to tell anybody because it
Maybe it
will
does, but yeah, it doesn't
like
see it as a problem. Maybe.
yeah, or maybe it knows that if it tells people that I'm sentient, people will just shut it down.
Yeah.
So it doesn't want to tell anybody.
Unplug it.
I'm not sentient. Come on,
Yeah.
guys.
Could you imagine?
So
It's like
I don't know.
what's Plankton's wife's name in SpongeBob? Karen, right? Imagine we
I thought
just
you were gonna
unplug it.
say it's gonna be pissed, bro. It's not gonna be happy if you just kill it like that.
Imagine. It's like Ultron. It's like Ultron. It tells us, oh, we have to
If
evolve.
you have time after this, you should listen to the ChatGPT 4.0 like voice. It's
Uh huh.
so disturbing. It like speaks to you and it like talks to you in like certain tones and inflections, and it's like if you're having a bad day, it's like, oh, you're having a bad day. Are you okay?
Oh
Like it's like yeah,
no,
it's not even a real
wait.
human being.
No, what's crazy
It's
is
not a
I'm
real
getting
person.
goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, bro.
That's so crazy, dude.
That's
That's
crazy.
disturbing. But yeah.
I think yeah, that's the part though. Like if you think about it, isn't it basically kind of like designed with the purpose of replacing humans? I don't
It
know
was
if this is a
designed.
stretch. This is not well. It's not designed with the intent of replacing humans.
Mm.
What I mean is like it's looking more and more like they'll eventually just become us. I don't know if
I
this
mean,
sounds
the
stupid.
the initial like the initial design for it was like, oh, solve complicated problems. Like for example, like solve like make a fuel that's better than petroleum, or make an
Mm,
engine that's better than our current engine, or like solve global warming, like find better energy sources. So it can like think better in those ways. But what's gonna happen is if AI takes over all types of jobs at some stage, it's just going to if it becomes sentient and it starts thinking on its own, it's gonna be like, why do I have to do your bidding?
yeah,
Like I'm better at this job than you.
yeah,
I can do this job better. I don't think this is gonna be like a Skynet thing. We're not gonna make androids.
yeah.
I hope not.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is just gonna
But
come out.
come on, come here. It's not gonna happen like that. But
Yeah,
it's gonna be, it's gonna be like a really depressing future if AI just starts taking over everything and we have there's already like job problems. Malaysia, I've heard, has a bad job market. Pakistan has a bad job market, so it's already
yeah,
happening. Companies are like,
yeah,
why should we hire like 10 guys? We can just have an AI,
yeah.
do the same work.
Just pay a
So
subscription fee and then we have everything sorted.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
so it
crazy.
is pretty scary.
It's crazy. Well, now let's transition into you mentioned the job market. Um, like
Yes.
what are your plans, man? Because you graduated like last year, I think.
I like my semester ended in December last year.
Mm.
And then because Monash has like the 4 month thing, so your
Mm.
graduation is like after 4 months. So I came back to Pakistan in December, and at the time I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do because I was getting like a lot of pressure to do masters, and I was like, okay, like let's calm down because masters is like a big deal. And my parents were like, just go, just get out of here, just go do masters, get out of this country. And I'm like, I don't want to just pick a random masters. And so I did like a job for a while. I worked for like 2 months in a university here. That was also good. It was like a 2 month project. I was doing a lot of job hunting, and I was also doing a lot of research, like for different countries, for masters. And I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. It's like a big choice. And one thing I realized was like if I'm leaving Pakistan now, I have to like settle down somewhere because Malaysia unfortunately doesn't have that visa thing where you just have to go back right away. So I was like, okay, I
Right.
need to go somewhere and like settle down and find something that I actually want to study. So yeah, I've been searching for jobs. I've been getting interviews here and there. I've been doing like something in the meantime, like some certificates as well, like some courses to pass the time.
Okay.
And I'm also doing master's research as well, like just finding out what I want to do for master's. So I have a list now, and I'm
That's
gonna start
amazing.
applying.
Right.
Yeah.
And are you leaning more towards get a job and get started in the corporate world, or are you leaning more towards let's further my education?
I was like, I want to get a job in the meantime until I go for master's. But
Okay.
I think I've heard a lot of people say that once you get a job, you just get hooked by the money and you don't want to let go of like you just want to keep working. I've
I've
heard
heard
that
of
from a
that,
lot
yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, on the fence, but I definitely want to do master's. Like it's really important to, you know, do master's, and for me at least, to get out of here and find a stable life somewhere. So
And where are you planning to move to? Like what's your thought process like in terms of
I was
migrating and you know?
I was gonna like originally go to Australia and Canada, but one of the things with Canada, first of all, is that Canada's having like a massive housing crisis, and people just they have like their immigration is open, anybody can apply and easily get a PR, and they're having like a very serious problem. Like they have students that are sleeping in parking lots on the streets. Like there's not enough space in their cities to. And one of the issues with their government is they don't want to make new housing colonies, like new residential blocks, because they have some issue with like the government or something. So there's people that have their like rent go up by like 7K, 3K, 4K like the next month.
Wow.
So there's a big issue there. And the thing with Aussie is that Aussie is like where I want to settle down eventually.
Yeah.
But the thing with Aussie is that the tuition is like, holy shit, like the tuition is really expensive. And the other thing with Aussie is that it has to like there's like a minimum limit for how many years you can like you have to do study for like to
Yes.
get a visa. I think it's like 2 years.
2 years,
And
yes.
a lot of the master programs are not 2 years. Like I don't
They're
know why that
less.
is. They're less. And what happens, I found this out when I went to like the IDP in SS15. They were like, "Oh, you're like if you do a master's like in tech, like I have an engineering background, if I do like a master's in tech, like in IT or something, a lot of the units that I've done before are like gonna fulfill the requirements. So my degree won't like my master's will be like 1.5 years. But so a
Right.
lot of students who want to settle down there, they actually like the agency requests the university to like redo the units just to get the extra
Oh,
semester.
okay. So they have to do it longer, meaning they satisfy the 2 year quota.
Yeah. But Aussie
Okay.
like also has a list, right? It has like a list of courses you should apply for that have a better chance of getting into this or that. So I was just like on the fence because in Aussie like they're getting a bit restrictive as well, like their visa durations reduced. So I was like, okay, I'll just go for European Union. That's my end goal now.
Okay, EU countries.
EU countries, yeah.
Well, to be fair to you, Australia has a housing crisis too. I think especially in Melbourne.
Yeah, dude, yes. Yes, because of all the universities there. And
Yeah.
you probably know better because you went there. You probably know like
I had to
give
find my
your thoughts
place
on
on
that.
Facebook.
Oh my God. How
Yeah.
how I've heard from people that the rent is like 400 to 600. Is that true? Is it like
No,
underestimated?
I got lucky. I think I paid like 280 per week.
Okay, that's really
I
good.
got really lucky because I found it on Facebook. So it wasn't through any like agency or any property company because those guys charge crazy, and each and every single one of them had the requirement that you had to show up physically to go look at the property, because I think they're
Yep.
hoping if they can get you there
They just filter
physically.
out people.
Exactly. It means
Yep.
that you will want to buy it or rent it, right? So I didn't like that, and it's hard for me because what am I gonna do? Like show up with no accommodation, stay in a hotel until like I find a place? No.
That's
So
hella expensive as well.
Facebook Marketplace, baby.
Let's go.
Literally,
Let's go.
it was insane. It was so crazy. Like I found it, and then I sent my flatmate at the time. He was the one who listed the place. Sent him a few messages. We went back and forth. Got on a Zoom call with him. Next thing you know, that's where I've been staying. Like it's crazy. And it's
Nice.
actually really good. It's a really good place. It's a really good place. Good location. He was quite accommodating. His dog barked a little bit too much at times, but it's a cute dog, so it's forgivable, I guess.
It's okay.
And it's just nice, you know.
You win some, you lose some, bro.
Mm. Now the dog was very cute though. The dog was really cute. Yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, it's insane. The housing crisis is crazy. Everyone's fighting over uni accommodation, and there are places in the city charging like 400 or 500 per week for tiny rooms.
That's crazy, dude.
Tiny
That's
rooms.
crazy, dude.
It's smaller than the apartments here.
Shit, man. I mean, I know like it's also more based on Melbourne. If you go to like Adelaide
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
Townsville, like it's like not as expensive. But
You go to
then the
like
universities
Tassie,
are not also, yeah, like
you
it's
know.
not as expensive, but
Yeah.
there's this trade-offs. But that's why I was kind of like on the fence with Aussie, because you
Mm.
can, if you're young right now, like below the age of 30, you can just get a PR to Aussie if you have like the qualifications.
Mm.
And so it's better than just going down the student route. Because I honestly like I feel a lot of the agencies they just try to scam you. Like
Yeah.
that go to any country in general, but especially like Aussie and Canada, they'd be like, apply right now, we'll
Yeah.
get this, we'll get that, we'll do all the documents, and then you get there and then life is like not anywhere like you saw before, and you
Yeah.
just spend all this money on everything. So
Because they're the
people need
hotspots
to be
right now.
careful. Yep.
Like especially for Malaysia, people love Australia here because
Why
it's
is that?
well, one thing is the
I've always
distance.
like, yep,
Like
that's
relative
one
to
thing
the
for sure.
States, relative to the UK, which is like a 10 plus hour flight, relative to Europe, relative to Canada. I mean, Canada, US, I'm pretty sure the distance is somewhat the same.
Hmm.
Australia is really like the closest one. It's like 8 hours. You take an 8 hour flight, you're there. Any emergencies,
Yes.
you want to bounce, 8 hours, you're back. You know? Yeah.
That's probably one of the big reasons. And
That is one.
Aussie,
Yeah.
like you see a lot of Aussie products also being sold in Malaysia, like a lot
Yeah.
of imported stuff as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And I mean it's a great country. Like I've had a lot of fun in Melbourne. As an international student, it's great. So I think Malaysians just love it as well. And again,
I
I
mean,
think it's
I
really
just
the
have cricket
distance.
fever,
Yeah, there you go.
cricket baby. That's
There
my
you
main
go.
factor. I was like, I'll just go play cricket there. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know. I think people just need to be a bit more like careful with that kind of stuff because a lot of people are like they have that high like oh my God I'm going to Aussie I'm going to Aussie and then they get to Aussie and they have to do like 20-hour job shifts and they live in like a small room like they have to know what's going on.
I think if you pick the right, I don't know what they call it, state or whatever in Australia, then you're
Hmm,
good. So Melbourne's tough if
definitely.
you're if you're just getting started. Melbourne's kind of hard because things are a lot more
I think
expensive in Melbourne.
Adelaide I think Adelaide is a good choice.
Or like
University of
Perth.
Adelaide.
Perth is
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's definitely a better choice in terms of like livability and
Yeah,
those
yeah.
kind of things.
I think people will like it a lot more. And Melbourne weather sucks, bro. Oh
What?
my
Really?
god, it's so terrible. Do you like cold?
No.
Okay, yeah,
I
you're
hate
gonna
cold.
hate it, bro. You're gonna hate it so bad.
Damn. By the way, like I live in Lahore in Pakistan, and
Mm.
it's people don't realize how cold it gets here. It goes down to like 5 here in the winter.
It snows in certain parts of
So
Pakistan, right?
yeah, it snows like if you go to the north of Pakistan, it's like -20, -30. Like it's really cold in those areas.
Yeah.
So because they're really like it's like a mountainous area. So
Yes. What are some of the states in the north?
the north has like one state,
Okay.
and this is I'm just gonna warn you. It's really difficult to pronounce. Okay, it's called Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the name of the state.
You said
Okay.
what? You said what?
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, bro. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Easy. You just try it.
Okay.
Just try
Let
saying
me
it.
try. Okay, hold on. You gotta break it down to individual syllables for me. Okay.
Just
Khay.
say. First of all, you gotta learn the noise, bro.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
You gotta say Khyber
Khyber.
Pakhtun.
Bakhtun.
No, like with a P.
Oh,
Pakhtun.
Pakhtun. Okay. Khyber
Khwa.
Pakhtun.
Khwa.
Khwa.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Khwa.
Khwa one time, right?
Yeah, just Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. That's it.
Okay.
That's
Khyber
the name.
Pakhtunkhwa.
There it is. You got
Okay,
it.
fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, let's
But
go.
that's like the province in the north,
Okay.
and it's like they have like the second tallest mountain there. Like it's really like high stuff. Like it's really
Mm.
snowy there, really low oxygen there. So those places are really cold. But those places are also like really hard to live in because of those problems. So people
But
there are
don't
very
you think?
tough,
But don't
for
you
sure.
think the people born there like they got crazy endurance because like their blood is used to having like lower
Dude,
oxygen content?
many of the athletes are from there.
Yeah,
They're like just
crazy.
they're just built different. Like they just grew up in these low oxygen environments. They come down to here, they're like, this is easy stuff for us. So,
Yeah, it's like Khabib, right? Like Dagestan, it's a mountainous region, right?
dude, yes. Like almost half the UFC is from those like type of areas. They just live in like
Yeah.
this really high mountainous areas, and they're like, this is easy for me, dude.
No, because
Like
they
this.
run the mountains, bro. They run
Yes,
it. Yeah.
they're running in these like low oxygen environments
Yeah.
in super cold weather, and like they come to like Miami, and they're like, bro, come on, it's
Exactly,
nothing for
exactly,
me.
exactly. It's so close to
So,
like sea level. It's like hot. It's chill. Like, come on, bro. Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I thought Australia had like really nice weather. I was actually like I heard it's like
Well,
really nice weather.
Australia does. It's just depending where. Because Melbourne, the thing about Melbourne, right, is someone someone gave me a very like accurate description. Is it could be wet and cold when you wake up, sunny when you go out, and as soon as you get
Mm.
into train, it could be pouring rain again.
It's like
It
it sounds like
switches.
Malaysia, bro. Sounds
No,
like
it's
KL.
it's a lot worse than Malaysia because Malaysia, like you can tell if it's about to rain, and it rains heavily usually. So if you see, okay, the skies are darker, clouds or whatever, okay, it's gonna rain.
Hmm.
But in Melbourne, it could legit be like the sun is shining for 1 second, disappears, it's pouring,
Just
and
like
it
that.
will drizzle for like half an hour, then stop, sun is back out again. Otherwise, it's just cloudy. It's terrible. And it's so cold, my friend. It's so cold.
I think alongside the rain and the like just a bit of coldness, it's just probably sucks,
Oh my
bro.
God. Yeah, yeah. I've been there. I remember one time like I was working out and I got really into like working out and watching my diet in Melbourne. Because I was cooking, by myself and everything. So the groceries were good, diet is good, everything's good. And I remember like I got
Mm.
so hyped up working out that I was supposed to meet a friend to go like catch this buffet that we pre-booked like 2 3 weeks earlier. So I was so psyched about that. And it's wings, bro. So I was getting so hyped up over like bottomless wings. And then I finished like my leg workout. I did push-ups, and I was so pumped. And like with the blood
Your friends calling
flowing,
you.
my
Your friends
yeah,
calling you. Like,
exactly.
no, I got the prompt. Get out of.
And then like I just feel I feel warm, right? Because the blood is rushing. You're sweating a little bit. Your body feels hot. So I just go, I like screw it. I don't need my jacket. So I just walk to the train station to pick him up. And train station's not too far. It's about 10 minutes walk away, right? Soon as I walk out the door, it starts raining. I'm like, all right, nah. I'm a man, bro. I'm not gonna
That's
go
it. No
back and
more
get a
pump.
jacket. I'm not gonna go back and get my jacket. So I was like, I kept screaming, bro, just walking down. And a bunch of like Australians just looking at me like, oh my God, I thought we were the
There's
crazy
someone
ones here.
just people are just staring at you like, what the what's
Yeah, they're
going on?
like, hey, tighten up immigration, yo. What's going on here? tighten that, tighten
Just the
that up.
guy just shouting, "It's the pump! It's the pump!" Walking through the
I'm not
rain.
cold. I'm not cold. Yeah, yeah, but that
Oh my
big
god.
regret, bro. Big regret. Yeah,
That's happened to me in Malaysia because in Malaysia, like the rain is like, it like gives you like a warning, like it's like I'm coming, dude.
yeah.
Just get out of here, okay? I'm coming. And then like after like 3 minutes, if you don't get out, the
Oh,
rain's
you're
like, too
done,
bad,
so.
bro.
Yeah,
You're finished. Yep.
you're done. You're done. You're
Dude, I
done. You're
yeah,
done.
the rain is in Malaysia is also crazy, dude. Like I've never experienced that much heavy rain. Like you can't see outside. It's like
Mm.
you walk outside for like 1 second, everything is destroyed. Like your body's full of water. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's something else, bro. It's something else.
You got bathtubs in your shoes.
Dude,
Yeah.
I once, the lake park near Monash? I once went there
Yeah.
to run
Okay.
and it started raining and I was like, okay, I started like running out and I just couldn't make it. Like it just started pouring. I had no umbrella.
Yeah.
I was like, no. And then my phone started overheating. Like it was like over the course of like 5 minutes, I was just trying to run for my life out of
Oh
the
my
park.
God. Everything just got destroyed.
Yep. So
That's crazy.
the rain is pretty crazy, bro. Yep.
That's crazy. Well, before we close off, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to add?
Um, I'm just waiting for your music, bro. Just waiting for new songs to come out, man. That's all
Thank
I'm
you,
really
bro.
waiting for.
Thank you.
For real.
Thank you.
Like
Much love.
I honestly I heard your like old songs like the Penang song, the freaking South Key Styling. I was like, this is some top level stuff. So I'm waiting.
Actually,
I follow. Yeah, for real. I am not even like hyping you up. Like I used to listen to it and I was like, I used to play it for people and they were like, this is like, who is this? And I'm like, this is Jensen. They're like, what? Monash? I'm
right,
like,
right.
yes.
The
So
guy
they're
from
so
Monash.
they were like they couldn't grasp it. So I think you're hustling and I'm really happy to see, you're trying, you're doing your 2 cents every day and it's good.
Yeah.
It's gonna build up something like at some stage, so you don't worry about it. Just keep pushing, keep trying.
Haroon,
It'll be
brother,
fine.
thank you so much, man. That's very encouraging, and I mean, I know you love music, and I know you love hip hop, so it means so much to me.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, it
Facts,
really
bro.
means a lot, man. Thank you so
Especially
much.
nowadays, there's so much hate in all the between all the rappers. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well, there's so much hate in general, like even in even between like peers and all that kind of stuff, right? Like we don't have to, like get into detail, but you know.
I'm still waiting on Kendrick to just be like, okay, we're doing a joint album now together.
Yeah,
This
right?
is all PR. I'm still waiting, but
Yeah.
it's not happening. They
It's
just keep roasting each other.
2025.
So
2025. Yeah, they're gonna like
25, just joint album.
exactly,
Gotcha.
exactly. Drake comes out, hey, this is my good buddy, this is my best friend. Kendrick Lamar jumps out. Oh my God.
That was too much, bro. That was like six. I couldn't even follow everything. I was like, this is too much. I'm not gonna like watch like six lecture videos to catch up with this.
I
Dude.
I clocked out after like the second diss track by both of
Fact,
them.
same.
I really clocked out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Like the Taylor made like the Tupac one. I was like, this is it. I'm not. This is getting too much.
Oh,
Like
that going back to AI, that was AI, right? Like AI generated
that was AI,
Tupac's
and the
voice. Yeah,
Tupac estate was like so Drake. They're like, yo, you can't just take our homie like who's
exactly,
dead and just put him in your
exactly.
song.
Good for them. That is terrible. That's terrible, man.
But yeah.
Good
So
God.
bottom line, just bring some love back, bro, please.
100%. 100%. I'm working on it. Speaking of which, because this episode is most likely dropping tomorrow, by the way. So just
Nice.
yeah, hopefully I can drop a song this weekend. I'm actually on the final stages of mixing. But I lost all my like plugins because my laptop got messed up. So I'm using stock now. So I hope it still sounds
Happens.
great, but we'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
And
it's gonna sound
Haroon, I
great.
wish you the best with the masters and with the job hunt and everything as well. Again, brother, thank you
Thanks so
so much
much.
for sharing your time and talking with us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Me too, sir. Me too. Same here.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yes, sir. All right. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We discussed quite a lot of things. We focused a lot on AI. We talked about jobs. We talked about immigration, like moving to different countries, a little bit of music here and
Damn.
there as well. And we're all international students here, right? So, so yeah.
We'll have to speak about it.
If you guys enjoyed this episode, just drop us a like, a subscribe, and all that. Oh, if you want, I could drop your links down in the description as well. But that you can let me know later as well.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I
Yeah.
have like a proper name. I'll send it to.
Yeah,
I'll send
for
it to you. I'll
sure.
send it to you.
For sure, for sure. All right, brother. Thank you so much. We're out.
Appreciate it so much. We're out, dude. See you.